Welcome back. As we count down to the May 29 handover, some senior legal practitioners have been speaking about some issues they believe the president-elect needs to focus on for the next 4 years.
The issue of corruption has been overflowed. It's not that it's not important, but that is not all. It doesn't solve all our problems. It doesn't bring food on the table for people. It doesn't solve all the problems that we face. Momentous problems, heavy problems that are facing the generality of Nigeria. So I rather want a situation where he has an economic team that would focus on how to revitalize the economy of this country, because the downtrodden people are suffering and there is no middle class again, because they have been eliminated. So it's either you are down there or you are up there, and there should be a focus on how to revitalize the economy. That is that. Then the issue of security gives everybody concern, a lot of concern. In a situation where even the generals cannot travel from Kaduna to Abuja, it gives much concern to everybody, every right-thinking person.
Power and more power and more power. As it is, we don't even have or generate enough power to sustain this country comfortably. So if focus were to be entirely on power, it would not be misplaced. Even God, when he created the world, said, "Let there be light," and everything else took off from that. We need power to be able to function effectively as a country, as individuals and as a nation. We need to start with manufacture. The traffic gridlock you find from the nation's ports, especially Apapa and Tinkan, is as a result of a huge amount of imports. We're importing nearly everything. This complaint has constantly been made. We need to start to produce.
Well, infrastructure and security. Those are very essential. Without security, there is no development, undoubtedly. So I believe that we must give more input into security issues so that we can have a peaceful atmosphere to operate generally, and certainly that will enable us to grow the economy itself. Beyond that, of course, is the issue of infrastructure, particularly power. Without power, you can move. Even power equally endangers security equally. So I believe we must fight it by all means, to us ensuring that even if we can put the issue of power behind other security, all others will follow. We can't do everything no government can do everything at the same time. We just have to start prioritizing now. Take infrastructure and security, leave the rest for now.
The first thing I want the president to focus on is to entrench the rule of law. For quite some, in the first term, maybe he didn't pay much attention to the issue of rule of law. Rule of law simply means let the law guide the way things are done. Let the law guide the relationship between the citizens and citizens, between citizens and government, and between government and government. It's as simple as ABC. Secondly, I also want to urge Mr. President to take a very strong look at the issue of security. No part of Nigeria is safe today. No part. And then thirdly, I will want Mr. President to also pay attention to the issue of the economy. A lot of people are hungry, a lot of people are starving. It doesn't matter what Mr. President is told, but down on one-on-one, on individual to individual, people are hungry. Things are very tough for Nigerians. So those are the three areas.
Let's now check out some of the top stories we tracked at the courts.
We begin with the report that the Supreme Court has nullified the elections of all the candidates of the All Progressives Congress in Zamfara State in the 2019 general elections. In a unanimous judgment, a 5-man panel of the court declared the first runners-up in the elections, the People's Democratic Party, as the winners of all the posts earlier declared to have been won by the APC and its candidates. In a judgment that has been touted as one that will prevent a constitutional crisis in Zamfara State, the Supreme Court nullified all votes cast for the APC in the just concluded election and ordered that candidates of parties with the highest number of valid votes with the required spread stands elected in Zamfara State. Justice Paul Kalinje, who read the lead judgment, upheld the decision of the Appeal Court, Sokoto Division, to the effect that the APC did not conduct any valid primary election, and as such, had no candidate for any of the elections in the state. The Supreme Court also ordered the APC to pay the sum of 10 million naira compensation to Senator Kabiru Marafa and 140 others who are respondents in the suit. The court admonished political parties to adhere strictly to the rules they set for themselves and the Electoral Act. At the appeal court, the president of the court, Justice Zainab Bukachua, has withdrawn as the chairman of the Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal. Justice Bukachua withdrew on personal reasons after the tribunal dismissed an application by the People's Democratic Party asking her to recuse herself from the tribunal. The PDP and its presidential candidate, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, had hinged their application on the ground that Justice Bukachua is the wife of a member of the All Progressives Congress, Mr. Adamu Bukachua, who is the senator-elect for Bauchi North Senatorial District. The presiding judge, Justice Peter Ige, however, said inadequate materials had been presented before the tribunal to show that Justice Bukachua will be biased in the hearing and the decisions on the petition. And in Lagos, a judge of the Federal High Court, Justice Rita Ofili-Ajumogobia, has challenged her trial on charges of corrupt enrichment. Trial judge Justice Rilwan Aikawa fixed May the 31st to hear the application. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission had charged Justice Ofili-Ajumogobia and a senior advocate of Nigeria, Godwin Obla, on 18 counts bordering on conspiracy, unlawful enrichment, retention of crime proceeds, and money laundering. They both pleaded not guilty. Counsel to Justice Ajumogobia, senior advocate of Nigeria, Robert Clark, told the court that he had filed a preliminary objection challenging the court's jurisdiction to entertain the charge against his client. He argued that she had not been dismissed as a judge of the Federal High Court since there was no gazette evidencing her said dismissal. He said that the failure to show evidence of such dismissal denied the court of the requisite jurisdiction to entertain the case. He also argued that Justice Ajumogobia was prosecuted for about 2.5 years before an Ikeja division of the Lagos High Court, with 18 witnesses called by the prosecution before the court dismissed the suit. Still in Lagos, another federal high court has convicted a former acting director general of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Callistus Obi and Alu Dismas, who was a personal assistant to Obi's predecessor, Mr. Patrick Akpobolo-Kemi. They were convicted by Justice Mojisola Olatoregun on a money laundering charge brought against them by the EFCC. The judge adjourned till May the 28th for sentencing and ordered that the duo be remanded in prison custody pending sentencing. The EFCC had arraigned the defendants in April of 2016 on 8 counts of conspiracy, conversion and money laundering of the sum of 136 million naira from Nemasa. In another case, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission arraigned 2 past chairmen of the Nigeria Bar Association Ikeja branch, Adesina Ogulano and Yinka Farumbi, before the Lagos State Special Offences Court in Ikeja for allegedly stealing the sum of 20 million naira from the association. The 2 lawyers were arraigned alongside the immediate past treasurer of the association, Mrs. Kakpo Aderiola, before Justice Mojisola Dada on a 30-count charge of conspiracy, stealing and money laundering. The EFCC alleged that the defendants between 2016 to 2018 committed the offence by converting to personal use and paying the said amount into Mr. Ogulano's account through issuance of cheque without authorization. The EFCC also alleged that Ogulano, in order to facilitate the stealing, dishonestly converted the money belonging to the branch via a cheque issued to Yinka Farumbi and Kakpo. They, however, pleaded not guilty to the charge. Justice Dada then ordered the release of all the defendants upon presentation of their international passports pending the determination of their bail applications, which she fixed for June the 3rd. And we round off with a report that the Federal High Court sitting in Lagos has ordered the remand in prison custody of upcoming music act Aziz Fashola, popularly known as Naira Marley. Justice Nicholas Owebo ordered his remand after his arraignment before the court on an 11-count charge of alleged credit card fraud. When the counts were read to him, Naira Marley pleaded not guilty. The court has fixed May the 30th for arguments on the application for bail.
And that's our program this week. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to catch the repeat on air or watch via our YouTube channel. I'm Shola Shoyeli. See you next week.